When desire is full, it also quietens. It becomes spontaneously silenced. The self becomes silenced. The process of desire, though, is not extinguished through any temporary or partial or even absolute realization of the transcendental reality of the self. Desire lingers. Desire continues. There's no experience within meditation or within spiritual life itself that could ever satiate the eternal hunger of the human/divine being. The time-bound, space-bound entity that is born of limitation and finiteness, and the eternal consciousness that is the bed of that perceptual reality. The perceptual reality of the finite self. There's no difference between awakening and suffering. The infinite consciousness continues to revel in desire long after self-awakening, after nirvikalpa samadhi, after full transcendental realization. The difference is that consciousness now has gripped this body-mind that is full of the love light and has its way with that body-mind. It possesses that body-mind. Consciousness becomes the resident, along with all the other relative aspects of the personality, the ego, the mind, intellect, the senses, the emotions. So all of those relative dimensions have adjusted themselves, surrendered themselves to the presence of this awakened consciousness. And therefore they fit in it. It doesn't fit in them anymore. It is no longer metered out in specific instances of a life. It is now boundlessly present. It's an ocean of liberated bliss, full and overflowing, uncontainable, unbearable. This is where the desire mechanism floats, in this unbearableness of feeling, of full feeling. So every cell of the body-mind is sipping this nectar of enlightened feeling, awakened feeling, heart feeling. None of my words will capture what this actually is, but we can hint at it, we can suggest it, and in that suggestion, in that hint, a taste may be acquired spontaneously. If there's innocence, if there's openness, without any sense of authority coming from me. Authority breeds fear, and fear is of the essence of duality. So there can be no authority in this process. Right in this moment, the life Shakti, the currents of energy and delight are activated. Samadhi, transcendental awareness, is here. God inebriation is here. It's easy to feel this. There is no obstacle that is more real or more substantial than this core reality of bliss and love and light. There is nothing that has more substance than this awakened condition. At some point, if you are graced by good fortune, the experience of that and the conviction of that, even the mere mental conviction of it, become one. There's this magical point of intersection where the awakened being merges with the understanding that such is so. That is so. So hum, I am that. Until that magic moment appears, the body-mind must simply unravel its story. Its bliss-tragedy story. It must unravel and reveal its inherent story to itself until all meaning is transcended, all content is transcended. At some point, even God is transcended. So that there's no history, there's no personal history, and there's no intellectual history that you have memorized from any kind of textbook, spoken or written. Your own life becomes the living reality that you study now, that you speak about, that you interact within, that you offer as a gift. Right in this present moment, the activation of reality in its fullness, without any sense of detachment, is here now. There's no seeking for it. We listen with our whole being, not with our ears. We listen without listening. We hear without hearing. And then the message of pure invisibility is given and received in an instant, in a flash.